Konnichiwa, hope everyone's good. It's time for an ADC update, so get straight into it. Start off with the phone. It's the iPhone 4S or 4. One of the two. I don't really care about phones. I just use them for calling and texting, and that's about it. I haven't even got mobile internet or anything, just Wi-Fi at home, so all I can do is call and text anyway, and it takes good videos and photos, but besides that, that's all I use it for. Decided to go with this because the Huawei is the main phone that I use for making YouTube videos, so I don't want to break that, so going with this instead. And I've got the battery pack protector thing on it, which is okay. Adds a lot of bulk to it, but it's not a huge phone to start off with anyway. Another thing I thought I would do different to the usual ADC videos, go over the work gear as well. So I'll show the work tools, things that make the most money for me in this video as well, since they're ADC related. But anyway, for now, bandana, Bundeswehr, German Army issue triangular bandana, flashlight, surprise surprise, sticking with the Army Tech C2 ELF, still going strong. The paint job is holding up pretty good as well. I thought it would wear off quick because it's like a powder coat, but it's held up well. I'm doing this a lot as well to charge the battery, and obviously that going on there you'd think would wear the paint off, but it hasn't much. So great flashlight. A little pricey, I think it was 55. Well, it's not really pricey for flashlights, but excellent flashlight for the money. Anyway, keys haven't changed since the last video. Still got the the Swedish Army Light My Fire Ferrocerium rod, the Victorinox Classic XD, which still has the original toothpick and tweezers. Those are usually the first things I lose. Got the Uncle Bill's Slither Grippers. Still the Phoenix NW20 whistle. And the Boga Plus pry tool. And still using the Olight i1R EOS, which is also going strong. Still using the Maxpedition Tritium keychain, or keychain, or keyring, whatever. Multi-tool, still using the Gerber M600. Can't break this thing. Knife. Changing back to the Higo Nakami with the blue paper steel. Just an awesome, very heavy duty and simple knife. Nothing wrong with the Damascus one that I had in the last video. I just really like this one, and the Damascus one I was just carrying to see how well that one would hold up. I've had to sharpen it once or twice, but besides that it's held up great. But that's a knife. Watch, sticking with the G-Shock GA100MC, I think it is. Yeah, I got it right that time. some reason I always have trouble remembering what model that watch is. Wallet is still the Maxpedition. I think it's the CMC, and nothing's changed with the contents of this, so I won't bother getting into it. And that's pretty much it for my personal ADC. I'll get into the ADC bag now and then work tools. So the bag is changed to the Finish gas mask bag. Doesn't have any dates in it, so I don't know when it was made. But I've actually got two of these now. This is the one that was in the worst condition. Bought it on eBay and the seller had it as lived in. So I've got this one as the standard ADC, and I've got the other one which is unissued in perfect condition. That one's in the bug out bag. But in here, oh, good job there wasn't any water in it. I haven't had that on properly anyway. The Czechoslovakian M60 water bottle. I removed the wool cover because it was getting a bit hairy. But this is a great heavy duty water bottle and it's perfect for my needs because I tend to throw the bag around a little bit. Still got the first aid kit. Nothing's changed with the contents of this, so I'm going to that either. Got the headband for the flashlight, spare flashlight, toilet paper, and the flashy work tools I'll get into a second. Hand sanitizer. I've gone through 3 of these, but the great thing about this is this comes off, so you can change these with different brand hand sanitizers that come in these bottles, which is handy because it's pretty good. Silicone, but I can just dangle that off the belt or whatever. I think nurses use this as well, and doctors. Anyway, the fancy tools. So the fancier tools I keep separate from the main tools just to protect them a little better, make them last a little longer. But these are the main tools that I make the most money on. So the main, what's going on with that lighting? It's gone yellow. See if I can sort that lightning out. Lightning, whatever. For some reason it's gone yellow on the screen. We'll be right back. So it was the blue tool roll that was affecting the camera in some weird way. Anyway, all I keep in there are just some secateurs and snips. Got an Iwaki Sentai secateurs or pruners, whatever you want to call them. I think it's mainly the Americans that call them pruners, but there's a few people in England that I've noticed are calling them pruners as well. Anyway, so these I've had for about 3 years and they're freaking awesome. I think they're made by a small family run business in Japan, I think in the north. And they're made out of, I think, one piece of SK5 steel. And if you're interested, I'll put a link to a video of the family making these, if I remember to do so and if I can find it. These ones are Tobisho A-type, and these are also handmade. I think you can still see the weld line. You can see it down there. And a little bit there. If you're not really into gardening, then you're going to find this boring. but whatever, you don't have to watch. But these are made the same way katanas are made. I think it's blue paper steel. I think. But these are the ones I showed in a video about 2 or 3 years ago, where I drunkenly ordered them and didn't realise I had ordered them. Then I opened the box on camera, I think, and I was like, shit, I paid £109 for these things, and somebody said, at least you can send them back, but I kept them, and they paid for themselves within the first day or day and a half of owning them. So well worth the money. A little pricey though, but I would buy them again. They're really good, high quality. These are Barracuda snips. And these I use mostly for boxes cutting and trimming. Just balls and things like that, and they work great. Sometimes if I want something as heavy duty as these and as precise as these, but I don't really want to use these because these aren't really made for any real heavy duty work, then I'll use these ones. They're good in between. They've got the precision of these things and the strength of these things. I don't carry these things often. I can't even remember who makes these. I got these from Iwaki's website as well. Don't really carry those that often though, so no real point in showing those in an ADC video. Anyway, those are the fancy things that I like to keep separate from the other tools and the other things in the bag. The little pocket here. Don't carry anything in there. In here, got a Suzuki Overdrive harmonica, and this is just a little tool maintenance thing, so in case I damage the edge on the secateurs, I just got a cheapo diamond file, which I don't really like. It seems fine there, but it's a little coarser than what I want. I used to have a real nice double Japanese file, but I lost that. I've reordered it though, but I got this just in the meantime. Hopefully I'll get that file tomorrow because I don't like using this thing. It removes too much metal and it puts deep scratches in. And then in here, just got some oil, because there's nothing more annoying than squeaky hinges halfway through the day. And then in here isn't a top survival kit, just the tin that comes with one. But this is a Greenmate. It's like a Japanese, not sure if it's a stone, it's kind of got a rubbery feel to it, but it's a rust and sap eraser, and every now and then I've got to use this to get the sap off, and also when I get home just to clean it up. Like these were practically black yesterday, and it restores them back to new. It's also great for axes and knives. These were also practically black this morning, or the day I mean. But that's just the little tool maintenance thing, and that's all that's in the bag. And the main tools. So the main tool bag is just a cheapo duffel bag, and then here on the top got a kneeling pad, nothing fancy, just a top that I can put under hedges and bushes, makes tidy up 100 times faster. And these are cool, 125-year-old head shears. In fact, it's been a few years since I looked up the company. These will probably be about 130-year-old now, if not more. But they're White House Hedgehog Ganook, made in England, built to last, real thick steel, made back in the day when people gave a crap about the products they made in this country, and these still work just as good as the day they were made. Give precise, clean cuts. So that's them. And these Niwaki Japanese loppers. And these did go Chinese, though I will be replacing these. These ones I use mostly for deadwood and for cutting up roots. If I've got to dig a tree stump out or some bushes out completely, I don't want to moor up the edges on the Japanese ones with hitting dirt and sand and little bits of gravel. So I use these mainly for that, plus the Japanese ones are mostly made for live wood as well, so these I'll use on deadwood and roots. But I've had these for about a week and I've already wrecked the edge on them, and this was just cutting some pine branches, just a pruning job. Done the same thing with the Japanese ones a few times, no issues, but these, I don't know if if they're even heat treated, but the blade's moulded around the branch that I tried to cut, about as thick as a pencil, and there as well. It used to be a perfect circular shape, so I can't see these lasting very long, but I paid £14 for these from Asda, so I'm not going to complain too much. Might be replacing these with Fiskars or Corona. I was looking at Corona Classics. I don't really like these ratchet things too much because they're just a pain to cut things that are up high with the amount that they spread out. So I like the straight, non-ratchety loppers. But I got these just because they were cheap and they serve the purpose of just doing crappy jobs. But it's them. I did also try a Chinese hedge cutter as well, but that didn't turn out so well either. The handle snapped off. And as I was using it, I actually felt this bending. It's supposed to be straight like here, but I actually felt that bending as I was using it. After about 40 or 50 cuts, it actually snapped. And the teeth on this thing as well, well, not teeth, but the edge, might as well have teeth now, snapped, actually shattered off there. And along here there's a crack, about 3.5 inches long. So if the handle didn't snap off all of that, would have snapped off. And the edge as well. It's like a nickel plating that's just flaking off. I think these were about tenner or something like that. Got those from Aldi. Not good. And that's why I only use Japanese or vintage British made stuff. Also, speaking of Chinese, I would have a silky Zubat, but I lost that on someone's property when I needed it. Didn't realise it was gone until I actually needed it. Couldn't find it, so I was close to Asda, so I went in and got this thing. Thought it looked the part, but it's garbage. It won't cut. It's just so dull. But I went back to all of the customers that I used the Zubat on and wasn't there, so it looks like I permanently lost that. So after ordering another Zubat, actually there was another one I wanted. I think it's called Samurai. It's very similar to the Silky Saws, but I want to give that a go. It's a little cheaper, but this is okay, I guess, for again cutting through roots in crappy jobs. I don't want to risk damaging the better quality stuff on, but this is just really dull. It's nothing. But until I get a nicer one, I've got the good old faithful Silky Gomboy, which I still need to get a replacement blade for. That one I won't rub my finger on. I got rope. There's some carabiners on. Some gloves. More rope. And some refuse sacks. Well, not refuse sacks, but garden sacks. Heavy duty ones. Got the cold steel. Spetsnaz shovel. Awesome piece of kit. Naiwaki Japanese hand hoe, which I use also for chopping through roots and things. I do a lot of tree stump removal and digging bushes out of the soil, and there's a lot of dust floating around. Anyway, some heavy duty wire, an antique or vintage, however you want to put it, garden reel I use if I'm going to plan out a flower bed or a border or a hedge layout or whatever. Comes in real handy. And another Naiwaki Japanese hand hoe. This one's just used mainly for weeding and aerating soil around plants. And a handmade tool also for weeding. Little trowel. And a Wolf Garden I just use it for self aerating soil around flowers and breaking it up, make it look nice and tidy, and clearing leaves as well around flowers and plants and under bushes. Forgot what it's called. And another vintage hand fork. I think it's cast iron. I like this because it's got a handle that's held in with screws, so I can take it out and replace it, which I will do very soon. But it's coming away. Bought it on eBay, and as I've had it, the wood's dried out and shrunk, so it rattles around a bit, and it came with another piece of wood down there as well, so rattles around, but for now it still works perfectly fine. But I can easily get around to making a handle for it at some point. And grease, and that is pretty much it. That's the main tools that I use. I don't really use petrol powered tools that much, mostly hand tools. And a lot of gardeners, 99% of the gardeners in my area, they use just lawnmowers and hedge cutters, because all they do is mowing lawns and cutting hedges, and then out of season cleaning windows and driveways. So I did something a little different, because I actually wanted to be a gardener and not a grass cutter, so I focus more on gardening than that sort of thing. I do have a lawnmower. I've got 57 customers, and out of the 57, only 4 of them want their lawns cut, so it's not the season yet, but soon it will be. But in fact, next week I've actually got my first grass cutting job on. But yeah, and I only do it once a fortnight. I've got all of those customers on the same day, so once a fortnight I cut the lawn and that's it. So my lawnmower is just a very cheap homeowner grade push mower. I think it's Sovereign. I paid £125 for it, but from Argos. And I've had it for 4 years, but I use it so little. It's all I need. I don't need commercial grade Hondas or anything like that. If I do need anything bigger, then I'll just hire it. And I've got a petrol hedge cutter as well, but again, that's just a cheapo. I mostly use the manual hedge shears. I don't do huge hedges, just mostly boxes, rarely topiary. And I've got one client I do cloud pruning on, which is mostly what I use those Barracuda snips for, that I keep in the bag, the small bag. But I do a lot of hedge cutting and bushes and things like that. So the main money makers are the hedge cutting shears and the just pruners or secateurs. And like I say, I'm rambling on. It's been 14 minutes just for this part, so this video is probably going to be over 30 minutes long. So I'll end it now. Thanks for watching. Shanna.